So recently I held a poll asking you guys which COD campaign you'd like to see me play through. Modern Warfare 2019 won by a landslide, so here I am playing Infinite Warfare because you're not my dad, you can't tell me what to do. I wish my real dad would tell me what to do, but he left me and doesn't even send me birthday cards anymore. He just texts me the thumbs up emoji every year. The thumbs up emoji is like a cultural icon for middle-aged men. This campaign is like every other COD campaign, but rather than Americans going to war with a poor third world country because their president said something bad about Christianity and freedom, we're space police invading other planets. Did you know NordVPN can help your love life? When you finally work up the courage to ask out your crush and they say they'll only come over if they can watch Riverdale, you start to panic. You can't stream Riverdale in your country, it's not available. Well, with NordVPN, you can simply select from the many countries that are available to somewhere where you can actually stream it. One of the biggest benefits to having NordVPN is online safety, so you don't have to worry about someone coming in and stealing your IP while you're trying to look at pictures of Andrew Garfield. It helps you get past region-based restrictions, like I said earlier with streaming sites, but also with games if you're trying to play a game that isn't available in your current country, all while keeping your internet speeds fast and unaffected. NordVPN is extremely user-friendly and easy to use. It's literally just as simple as browsing the long list of countries that are available and clicking on the one you want to connect to. And if that's too much hassle, you can even set up automatic connect, so you don't even have to do anything. Nord is available on every major platform you'd expect, like Windows, Android, iOS, macOS, Linux, and it's even supported on your Android TV. If this interests you, you can click my link in the description and get a bonus 4 months, as well as taking advantage of Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Me and my boys are about to dive into the moon euphoria, but because we're in the military, just before they jump, I have to give them a comforting hand on the shoulder and slap their asses. I'm rock hard as we come flying into this moon, but unfortunately didn't get the memo that we were supposed to have our boosters at the ready to ease the landing. Oh, fuck. Unlike the real military, I respawn, and once again have to drop down an icy cavern, but this time there's a human being there to cushion my landing. Me and the boys are inserting here to destroy a high-power weapon our enemies have stored away on this moon. Because, you know, if America has a high-powered secret weapon, that's totally fine, but if those people with the funny accents use anything more than an AK-47, it's suddenly a war crime. We break into the shuttle with little resistance, and I open every door because this is a Call of Duty campaign, so of course no one else is capable of opening the doors. We find the big weapon, and my immature brain can't help but think this looks like a penis coming out of the doors. My boy then hands me a literal laser beam that can't miss my enemies, aka every gun in Warzone. Our enemies have some giant mechs, so we make the wise decision to fire this giant weapon we were secretly told to destroy because it's so powerful. So no surprise really when it backfires and blows the end off this entire shuttle, and we end up plastered out on the icy floor. But look, it's Jon Snow to save us. Or not, as he executes the mandatory COD villain shooting his own friendly to assert how much you should be scared of him. It's okay though, as we learnt from Game of Thrones, this man starts strong but fails miserably at the last hurdle. My boys all die from gunshot wounds, but I actually die in a way cooler fashion. Conor McGregor mounts me and begins to ground and pound me till I die. Was that Conor McGregor? Hang on, no way, was that Conor McGregor? No way, is that Conor McGregor? I'm being ground and pounded by Conor McGregor. Rumour has it Activision actually tried to get Conor McGregor to do some voice acting, but every time they got him in the booth, he wouldn't follow the script and just started promoting Proper 12 whiskey instead. It turns out we were just watching a live stream and Twitch was taking 50% of the revenue. Our protagonist is actually this dude Reyes, who's angry at Jon Snow and his boys who go by the name the SDF, so we want revenge. Our higher up is like, nah mate, can't do that. Jon Snow is a Christian man who has a British accent. We don't fight those guys. We go out and vent to our best friend who goes by the name of Salt, and honestly I would be pretty salty too if my arse was this flat. Conspiracy theorists are actually convinced this is Earth, it's so flat. Anyway, we're having a parade for our troops, so we head outside. Woo! Yeah, war! Let's bomb some foreign countries! America, baby! Yes, sir! As a lieutenant, I find it important to watch over those lower ranked with me to make sure they're doing their jobs correctly so I have some sense of control in my otherwise chaotic life. Like watching these lads to see if they're lifting this box correctly, because back injuries are no joke. Turns out, their form is beautiful. We then meet my favourite character in the entire game, and the reason you should play this campaign, Ethan.
Program for combat?
Thoroughly, man. Born to kill.
Look like you can kick some serious ass.
Well, now you're just making me blush, sir.
You will be in love with Ethan by the end of this video, I promise you.
We're revealing him at the ceremony today.
You know I got stage fright, right, sir?
You got feelings, Ethan?
I do, Lieutenant. I do. I carry the brain of a human farmer.
Holy shit, are you serious?
No, ma'am. Not at all.
He got you, Lieutenant.
Did not.
On our way to the parade, one of our turrets shoots us down. I'm no military expert, but I believe this is called friendly fire. We crash into a mall where some big units in exosuits come to finish us off, but luckily I whip out the Glock to execute one of them. I also have the option to shoot the guy who's about to take out Salt, but this is 2022 and women are strong and independent, so I felt it may be a little misogynistic of me to kill him for her. We make our way through the city, where it's now all-out war thanks to Jon Snow's SDF boys making a move for Earth. Unfortunately, some civilian casualties were racked up in this gunfire, like this woman, who unfortunately got caught in my crossfire as I was clearly aiming for the enemy. Or her twin sister, who I tactfully unload 7 rounds into, thinking it was an enemy, but then also got her body dashed right at me by a grenade. I thought you were an enemy! Any survival chance she had after being shot by me was wiped out by that grenade though. Ethan gives me a hand up a wall, and I honestly went to smooch him after this, but one of our ships came crashing down. This then creates a thick fog, which makes it really difficult to see. Due to the limited visibility, I made the mistake of thinking the civilians were enemies, so I threw a frag grenade, which made a lot of people's bad days a lot worse. As it turns out, the SDF also have their own bots, similar to Ethan. To even begin to compare them to Ethan though would be like comparing me to Modest Pelican. One is simply just a Walmart replica of the original. Speaking of Ethan, he once again saves us all by propping up a thin metal table against a window and handing me a hacking device. I can now hack into enemy bots and make them self-destruct on their own teammates. Infinite Warfare really makes you feel like you've been radicalized. We all regroup in a makeshift hideout where many of us are injured. I seize the opportunity to teabag my corporal because how many people can say they've dipped their nuts on a corporal's face? Honestly, I wanted to get out of here pretty quickly anyway because it sounded more like a male orgy than a medical facility. We're making our way to the control room where the turrets are handled to see if we can find out what actually happened and why we were shot at by our own turret. On my way there, I spot something shocking. A gendered sign. Wow. This has completely ruined my immersion. There's a gendered sign saying only men can use these stairs. This game is set in 2187. If women still don't have the right to use stairs by then, I dread to think what their annual salary is for playing football. Because this is a COD campaign, we break into a control room in slow motion and shoot everyone without asking any questions. Finally though, we have our answers. This guy is an insider for the SDF pretending to work for us, and he also has a funny accent, so now it's totally okay to go to war with the SDF.
What is your name? Commander Akil Minraya of the Settlement Defense Front.
Can't tell if he's patting him down or if they're about to kiss. Yes, Ethan, my boy! We need to get up in space, so me and Ethan hop into an airship, and he holds me between his thighs, which is comforting. I never thought I'd play a COD game where you get to fight in space, but here we are, and it's actually really fun. It makes a pleasant change from the usual piloting a helicopter, raining down high caliber fire onto a small village, rife with poverty, who have no hope of even fighting you back. I even passed a stick to Ethan at one point so I can focus solely on the shooting, and I've never trusted anyone more with handling my stick. We keep the SDF at bay for now and land on one of our ships, the Retribution. Turns out the captain of the Retribution just got killed in this whole kerfuffle. Tough luck for him and his family, but on the bright side, I got promoted to captain. Being captain comes with all kinds of benefits, like PTSD from being the one who makes all the decisions and ultimately ends up getting many of your soldiers killed, as well as a nice private office, so I have a safe space to smash one out. I wonder what adult videos will look like in 2187. Does Riley Reid get projected into my living room and cuddle me while I cry because I can't get it up without a pill anymore? I don't get much time to myself though, as our lunar gateway port is under siege, so we enter light speed to get there as quick as possible, and no one warns you about the whiplash you get from doing that. I'm cool with risking my life every time I step out onto the battlefield, but long-term neck issues is not something I signed up for. Me and the boys deploy, but some here are being discriminatory towards Ethan, so as captain, I may send them into a death trap just to teach them a lesson. This mission begins with a pretty cool low gravity car fight, but we also show little concern for road safety, which I did not like. It then turns into your generic COD run and gun through loads of enemies until inevitably something goes wrong. This time round it's a window smashing and everyone getting sucked out of the building, but I didn't even give consent, what the fuck? Cancel gravity now for forcing me into this situation. Anyway, Ethan then saves me from being crushed by a forklift, and honestly, everything he does just makes me want a future where I make him bagels and orange juice in the morning before he goes to work providing for the family. We'll have little robot babies. They'll be super cute, and you could even turn them off when they start crying, unlike regular babies. If your regular human baby won't stop crying, you just have to accidentally drop it. We eventually get back in the sky and stop the SDF from destroying our port, but honestly, flying this bad boy didn't feel the same without Ethan squeezing me between his thighs. Job done, so we fly back to the Retribution for a little bit of R&R, aka doing some lines with the boys to cope with the PTSD of war. Is that Lewis Hamilton? Bro, why is there so many random celebrities in this game? I think it is. Yo, why can't I slap him? That'd be a 10 out of 10 best Call of Duty game ever made if I could slap Lewis Hamilton in the face. Because I'm the captain of this ship, we can do whatever I say and no one can do anything about it. I'm like the Andrew Tate of space, except I use jasmine scented body lotion because not taking care of your skin will have bad repercussions in the long term. Anyway, I vote we go visit Pluto because much like your elderly family member, they're freezing to death and deserve more attention every now and then. Turns out, it's actually a really fun stealth mission where I have to assassinate an SDF higher up. Before I set off, however, I meet the one man who may rival my love for Ethan, a forklift certified man. Look at the way he expertly operates this vehicle. It's a known fact you become 79.5% more attractive when you have a forklift license, which is also coincidentally the same percentage of people who watch my videos but aren't subscribed. Alright, so I board the shuttle near Pluto and it's important I don't get seen. The first guy I come across is packing up his backpack because clearly he's going home to see his family after a few long years away. I don't know what the fuck just happened to my voice when I tried to say the word away. I stab him up, but politely tuck his body onto the bottom bunk so he can rest up. I then take out the next few guys and whack on a suit so they think I'm one of them. You know, the classic, I'm in their uniform so I must be one of them even though no one has seen my face before. I even find a weapons cache and pick up this gun called the Eraser, not realizing it wasn't silenced. I thought I was being stealthy, but not with this thing. It literally evaporates people and makes even more noise than an electric whisk. Not that I would know what an electric whisk sounds like, because I'm a real alpha male who uses a manual whisk when I'm baking cupcakes for the boys. Second time round I don't go loud and keep the condom on, where I eventually end up finding old matey who I'm supposed to assassinate. I take him out by cutting the oxygen supply to his office and watching him float up while he suffocates. Mission successful. Alright, so the next mission was also a stealth one, but this time it was me and all the boys. We were here to blow up a fuel tank. Once again though, we can't stay stealthy for too long because COD can't have its 12-year-old ADHD fanbase getting bored, so we call in a giant mech and start going all guns blazing. The SDF however also have a giant mech, which is totally unethical of them. I mean, what is this? A fair war where we're fighting people who have equal resources to us? That's not the American way. We do eventually take out the fuel tank by hopping into our ships and destroying it. Mission accomplished once again, but when we fly back to the Retribution, we're actually intercepted by an SDF ship and they take out my vehicle. Ethan saves us from going down with it, and that's when this Oscar-worthy scene happens.
Gator, drop out, that's an order!
Roger, sir. We're coming back, Reyes. We will fight.
Captain, your suit.
Took a hit in the cockpit. Left arm's torn.
Unsettling report, sir.
Let it go, Ethan.
I can't, sir. You're my commanding officer, Captain. My mission is you.
Who says?
Oh, I'm hardware, sir. Ultimately expendable.
Oh no. You're my brother, Ethan.
You're talking robot, brother.
Affirmative.
Yes. Well, stay in the hands of one, sir.
No doubt.
I think I'm scared, sir.
No, Ethan!
Me too.
No!
Captain, stay with me.
Ethan. I could easily finish this in the next video if you want to see it, guys, or if you want to see any other COD campaign, let me know in the comment section down below. A big thank you as always to those of you who've clicked the subscribe button and joined the channel. I appreciate you all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. A big thank you to my motherload Voiy Bois and above, Björn, ZYFin, TheGamerTeg. Thank you guys for your support.